Okay, these are my week 7 power rankings in the NFL. We're going to release Mitchell's and mine at the same time, so you can see what we're ranking them. Number 1, same as Mitchell, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. Even though they have like no talent anywhere other than Mahomes and Kelsey and a few, I mean, I guess Worthy's okay. But they're just winning games, and they've shown that they can win games, and I think that's what you need to do as a number 1 team.
Yeah.
Number 2, we're already making switches. I hate that I have them number 2, but they're looking really good now. The Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, fair enough.
They started out terribly. I feel like it's just some rust coming off from practice, but they look like an elite team. They're definitely going to be contenders again.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll win it just because the Ravens tend to choke.
True.
But I think right now they're the team to beat other than the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Number 3, I have to show some love to the Vikings. I personally don't think that their hot streak's going to last all year.
I agree.
I think Sam Darnold's having a great run, but that he does have a lot of weapons that he can use. Aaron Jones, even though he's out, he's been carrying the team. And obviously you have Justin Jefferson, top 2, top 3 wide receiver in the whole game.
Yep.
So that's going to help.
Their defense still scares me a little bit. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
I
We'll
don't
see.
think they're 5-0.
Yeah,
I don't
for
think
sure.
they're going to remain undefeated,
Yep.
but I'll give them love while I can. Number 4, I have the Lions. You had them
Yeah.
very well. I think the Lions are a team to beat.
Scary offense.
Destroyed the Cowboys. They have a terrifying offense, and that's with some people not even performing in their offense. Like
True.
Sam Laporta has a great game this week. It's his first game that he's done good in 6 weeks.
Yep.
Amon-Ra St. Brown has kind of been like lost.
Yeah,
really.
They haven't needed them.
They haven't needed him at all, so when they do need him, he will show up. Number 5, I got the Bills. They just brought up a nice big game.
Yep.
They're 4-2. They started out hot. They had a few hiccup games. Definitely against what was the Commanders. They got kind of blown out.
Yep.
It is what it is, though. I think they're still a team to beat.
Them picking up Amari Cooper today, I
That's
think is
right.
huge because they have no talent.
Yeah, they
So-
have a deep threat now. We know Josh Allen loves deep throwing.
Yep.
None of his players right now kind of did the deep ball, and
Yeah.
I think Amari Cooper can do that for
They have
him.
good veteran presence. They're pretty young, so
Number 6, just based on talent on the roster, I have the 49ers.
fair.
Obviously, I mean their start hasn't been amazing, but I think they're a team that's gonna pick it up. I mean it's a 17-week season. They're gonna be okay after 5 or 6 weeks, even if they're only 3-3. Commanders, I like them this year. They're number 7 for me. I still haven't said another team that I think you might be thinking of, but I think the Commanders, they have a lot of talent there, a lot of young talent. They've kind of been showing off these
Yeah.
first 6
Big
weeks.
surprise.
And I think that's pretty cool. So I'm going to give them some love now. Number 8, a little low than what you had them. I have the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
It's because they have a few weird games already this year.
For
Their
sure.
2 losses they look terrible on those losses. They look like the team just kind of fell apart.
Mhm.
It's one of those teams where I think they have too many weapons
Yeah.
where they can't, since they don't execute on all of them, their players kind of get upset
Mhm.
that they're not getting the ball, they're not getting their target share. I think they're going to be okay because Nico Collins is out right now.
Yeah, that helps.
So
for-
it's going to help
for sure.
players like Diggs and Dell and the other players that actually want the ball, get the ball, and they'll be a little happier. Number 9, I've loved how this team's looked even without their quarterback when he was hurt, the Green Bay Packers. They won. Malik Willis is 2-0 by
Yeah, that's
himself.
crazy, huh?
He's one of the only 3 undefeated quarterbacks this year,
Mhm.
and he's not even playing. So obviously Jordan Love, he's just a point
Oh,
monster.
Josh Jacobs
Touchdowns,
has been great too.
touchdowns,
Yep.
throwing yards. He's insane. So I like him. Number 10, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think we had them similarly rated. 51 points, absolutely insane. They've put up, I think, another 40-point game this year already. So point monsters, those guys are. You're wearing their hat. I think it's Baker's year. I don't think they're necessarily going to win, but they're going to have a good run for sure.
Yep.
Number 11, I have them lower, the Eagles.
Yeah,
I
okay.
really don't love the Eagles. I think Jalen Hurts is kind of past his time already.
Interesting.
They lost their center, obviously Jason Kelsey. I think that actually was a large part of their offense.
True.
They've had a couple troubles already with turnovers,
Yeah.
and they have some player injuries. They're coming back now. We'll see how long they stay healthy.
I do love Saquon on the Eagles.
Saquon has
though.
been doing good.
He's
Kind of
gonna
had
try
a
and keep carrying them for sure.
he kind of had a dud week last week, but
Yeah.
overall he's been really, really great.
100%.
Number 12, I have the Bears.
Oh, interesting.
I think they've been doing good. Yeah, they haven't had a really tough roster yet, but just based on pure wins, 4-2, I like where they're at. Caleb Williams seems to be hitting his stride. And the thing I like about him is he had a terrible first few weeks, and they're still finding a chance to win some games.
Yeah, he's picking it up.
That means their defense is also helping them out a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
And the offense is coming. Number 13, I know it's low for you, but I have the Steelers.
Okay.
Obviously, I mean, top 15 team in my mind. There is still some, weird controversy going on at quarterback here.
Yeah,
Justin
for sure.
Fields is 4-2, but they might play Russell Wilson. Does that slow them down? The problem I see with the Steelers, they just don't put up a lot of points.
Yeah,
but obviously their defense helps them out.
We need receiver help.
So I would like to see more offense generated by that team, and then they would go way up on my rankings.
Makes sense.
Unfortunately, just watching him is very neutral. I mean, it's just like, oh, what's going to happen? You never know. Number 14, I have the Falcons.
Okay.
They've showed some good promise. Kirk Cousins with a 500-yard game.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely insane. I still think they have some issues as well with their team. There's definitely some inconsistency going on. I think some of their wins are flukes, like their 2-minute rush, I think, against the Eagles there, which is, amazing, but you got to play like that throughout the whole game to win games throughout the season. Number 15, tough loss for them. I have them actually higher because of a new acquisition today. I have the Jets at 15. I think as they figure it out, Aaron Rodgers is a veteran enough QB to kind of propel them in the future to get some more wins. Obviously, their whole team is kind of new.
Yeah.
Even though it's like a repositioned Packers from like 4 years ago. You got Rodgers, Lazard, and now Adams. But everyone's kind of just filling in the gaps. I mean, your head coach is missing. You don't really have a new head coach. You have an OC calling head coach play. So we'll see what happens with them. Number 16, the Chargers. They have a positive record. They don't play very well. Justin Herbert's having not a great year. But honestly, they have I love J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, their running game's been great.
I love their head coach.
Yeah.
I think they're going to put together some wins just simply because of that.
Yep.
Number 17, I have the Broncos.
Yeah, okay.
Pretty high for them, but they've had a good year. I think Bo Nix is picking it up a little bit.
Yep.
They had a pretty impressive win against the Raiders a few weeks ago, and I just like to see what happens to them in the future. Number 18, I don't really like this team at all, so it's a little bit of bias here. The Seahawks. Although I think they have the talent on their roster, I don't think Geno Smith is a Super Bowl level quarterback.
Geno scares me too.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to move the Hawks in the right direction, especially come playoff time, even if they make it. Number 19, I think I have them lower than you, the Bengals. The team definitely has promise, I believe. That's my team. 2-4. I mean, they've won against the Panthers and the Giants. That's it.
That's tough.
Like I said, though, they've had very close games against the Ravens and the Chiefs. So, realistically, this team could be 4-2 or they could be 2-4. It's that close. So, I think their stats are kind of misleading a little bit. Number 20, I like this team. They're very young. The Colts. Anthony Richardson, I think, is going to be healthy this week, even though their backup Flacco looks pretty good for his age.
True, very true.
Had a pretty impressive game. They do have a decent wide receiver core if they can use them. They used Pittman a little bit last game, and I think he's a threat. They just have to use him properly.
For sure.
Especially, they'll be higher on the rankings when Jonathan Taylor's healthy again.
Yeah.
He started out amazing.
Oh, yeah.
This team looked electric at the start of the year. Number 21, I have the Cowboys. They look like trash. That's all I'm going to say.
Fair enough.
I'm going to go a little quicker here. Number 2, the Cardinals. They looked electric at the start of the year. I just don't think Kyler can really force that offense to win that much. They got to give it to Harrison Moore. They gave it to him for a total of 1 quarter this whole year. The guy got like 2 touchdowns and 80 yards in 1 quarter, and then they did nothing with him. So they got to find that. The Saints, they had a hot start. You mentioned it. The quarterback hurt, injuries. I don't know if that team really knows what they're going to do in the future. So, yeah, the 24th, I have the Raiders. Simply because they've won a few games, more than the teams on the bottom end here. Losing Devontae Adams, they don't really have much talent there at all.
They're in rebuild mode.
Yeah. Number 25, if they come healthy, I think they can actually turn around the season. The Rams, Cooper Kupp's supposed to play this week. We'll see how that goes. I mean, obviously hurting 2 of your number 1 wide receivers
Killed
at the
that
start,
season.
dead. Number 26, the Giants. They could be higher, they could be lower. The Giants are a weird team. I hate their offense. Their defense will keep them in games. Daniel Jones, they need to move on from him.
Yep.
I have this team higher. I don't know why. 27, I have the Titans, which is
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah.
I think they have little spurts of energy.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the quarterback makes too many mistakes, but he could grow into something good, kind of like what Josh Allen did.
Yeah.
He used to throw a ton of picks.
They need a new coach.
They do.
They need coach help.
Yeah.
For Will Levis.
For sure. Number 28, the Dolphins. Not much to say there. They don't have a quarterback. 29, I have the Browns. I do think they have some good players on their team. They just don't know how to use them. 30, the Jaguars. They're terrible. They're 1-5. Trevor Lawrence hasn't looked worse. 31, the Panthers. And I have the Patriots at dead last.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't really like Drake May.
Oh.
I think he's going to be good in the future, but I don't think he's going to get him that many wins this year.
Fair enough.